Meeting to
Okay.
order
Oh,
at
it was, okay.
Yeah.
7:02 PM. This is a regular meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale, Tuesday, March 15th, 2016. I'd ask, please, if everyone would rise to salute our nation's flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Dunleavy.
Here.
Councilmember Sondermeyer.
Here.
Costa.
Here.
Della Ripa.
Here.
D'Amato.
Here.
Hudson.
Present.
Yazdi.
Here.
Also with us, our municipal clerk, Jay McCarthy, and our borough attorney, Fred Semrau. This is an official meeting of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale. On November 28, 2015, the date, time, and place of this official meeting was faxed and mailed to all local news media and posted here at Borough Hall. There's no need for an early executive session. There is one non-agenda item, which is a resolution and proclamation declaring March 29th, Vietnam Veterans Day. That is the day our veterans were welcomed home. So we'll be moving that this evening. That is the only non-agenda item. First is a motion for early public comment reserved for agenda items. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to an agenda item, please come on up. No, not at all.
On the bills, there's a payment to Fergus for COA, and it's paid out of the escrow account for children. Why is that?
For Nelson? For Ken Nelson. Yeah, that is being paid out of the escrow on Tilcon, right? Yeah, yeah. Because the entire concept is all COA driven, so that was enough funds were received in escrow to cover Redding study, auto study, Nelson study, our engineer study, and so on.
So what's COA getting, something they had to do for the court?
Yes.
It was. It was, but to the mayor's point too, it wasn't conditioned on anything to be in the plan. In other words, that report too isn't something that the borough went back to Tilcon about or anything of that nature. It was unconditionally towards the affordable housing plan and the costs that the borough was to incur.
So why is still coming out of the escrow account?
I think, like the mayor said, there is a portion of that plan that still includes the mere track and that area of the borough. So
Still can't own the account?
I'm not saying they own the mere track, but I believe they had an interest in acquiring
So why
the
would
mere
they,
track.
does it make sense that come out of the escrow account?
We made the request and they said yes, and there wasn't anything else to it as far as an agreement or a condition that they'd even be included or not included or have any part in the plan. They, like everyone else, can voice their position when the plan's approved. That was it. There's really nothing else to it.
What's the executive session going to be discussing?
There isn't any this evening, I don't think.
What's the duration of executive session, business, and comment?
Well, the agenda, always on the agenda.
Okay, are we talking about the executive session?
No, there's not. Thank you. Anyone else? Agenda items? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next is a public hearing on the Walter T. Bergen School Phase 2 drainage improvements that we are applying to the Passaic County Open Space Fund. And this is our public hearing on that matter. So I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone wishing to speak to the Walter T. Bergen Field Improvement Phase 2, which is drainage? An application will be submitting to Passaic County. Anyone wishing to speak to that? Just come on up, sir. State your name and address for the record. How are you? Good.
Drew Canis, 5 James Ave. Number one, do you have a plan for the drainage or not?
Our engineer had designed Phase 1. and Phase 2 will be designed, upon submission of the application. Pretty much what we're doing, and Ray can help me on this one, is kind of a French drain system, because the Bergen School was built on old wetlands 100 years ago, or 50 years ago, and on a dry day, it's wet there. So the plan is, we've done some perimeter drainage over the last number of years, and that's helped. All the water coming off Red Twig Hill used to go onto the field, that now catches in a basin system, that brings it out to the cul-de-sac. So now we're looking for the playing surfaces. Phase 1, we got money, 100 grand last year. Haven't done any work on it because we're applying for Phase 2 to try to do it in one shop.
French drains, does that include tanks, or is it runoff?
I believe I believe the idea, no, because there's already storm drains around the field. There's a storm system and storm basins along the center pathway and the perimeter. So the plan is to bring French drains to those storm systems, try to bring that water to the existing storm system and off the playing surface. And it would, also a large part of the plan is, what if you dig down in that field, it's, you hit, silt immediately. So we really need to add a good base of sand, or stone, sand, topsoil, to get a good turf there again.
I think that answers the question, but I was just checking. Are you gonna excavate the path that was just put down?
No,
You're gonna connect into the existing pump?
correct, correct. And if anything has to go, it would go under the pathway. If drainage had, like, for example, on the tennis court side, there is no perimeter draining on where the wood bumps up to the woods, so ideally would be get everything to the cul-de-sac, okay? But we will not disturb the pathway. If anything, we can easily go under the pathway, if we had to.
He actually put in, he put
Right,
in
we
a
put in
pipe
piping
especially
for this
yeah,
foreseeable
foreseeing
future, right.
What's coming
Mhm.
next.
I have one other question.
Sure.
Containing, to Walter T. Berry, not the drain,
Go ahead.
the bathrooms were put in,
Yeah.
are they ever gonna be open?
Yeah, well, they were winterized. It's actually kind of a hot topic right now. They were winterized for the winter, and somehow someone on 2 occasions must have had a key, got in there, used the bathrooms quite disgustingly. So that's something we're dealing with now. But as far as consistently open, we don't want everyone having a key, because then it gets kind of crazy. Each sports organization was given a key, and for example, baseball was supposed to earmark 1 or 2 guys or persons to open and be responsible. Soccer the same. So again, why is the question being asked? Have you been there numerous times? It hasn't been open.
I have never once in the summer last year, in the fall,
Okay.
in the winter, in the spring now.
Well, over the winter they wouldn't be. They're closed.
All right, is there a possibility to have them open in the winter? I mean, it's all underground drainage, right, and water?
Yeah, everything's out. Well, you still have. There's no heat in the building. You have inside pipes though, so you have your. There's no heat in that building. No, because they're designed for restrooms during the most active part of the season. But we will.
Last year, they were never, I never saw them open.
I mean, they were open. It's not that they were never open. I just don't. They're not open Monday through Sunday, 5 to 10 p.m. like I'd like them to be. The other option I was contemplating was putting, small signs up on it and say, go to the restroom, go to the police station, sign out a key if you need to. If it's a team. Say you have a team, you have a practice, and you
But what if you're
just walking.
walking on the track that we specifically put in for walking around?
I haven't figured it out yet. How to do it without vandalism and a problem, because we have a problem.
Cameras there, right?
Not yet.
There's cameras there.
Not.
On the school.
Well, they're on the school possibly, but
Every time I go to open that door, I look up and wave at the camera, because
there's no active cameras on that restroom. There aren't.
there is cameras. Now, they might not be hooked up, but there is definitely a camera on that building.
All right.
Yeah, I'd have to go look tomorrow because yeah, they're not active. But I do have a quote for this year's capital plan to do cameras at both the Laser and Walter T. because of minor issues, but issues where, the problem is even the coaches who were supposed to be responsible leave it open all night. It's a problem. It's a problem. So I haven't figured it out yet.
Porta Johns is the same thing, I get that.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I saw a camera, it could be a dummy camera, a decoy
Yeah.
camera.
Oh, okay.
I would hope that we can put real cameras on and alleviate any issues.
It's last year was the first full season, and we absolutely hit some bumps in the road, and we're actually trying to figure out the best way to do it so they are open for our residents. and we just haven't quite gotten there. Like I said, most spring nights when there's soccer or baseball there, they're absolutely open. They are. If there's, I mean, Ray, you know more about soccer than I do, but, you know,
Yeah, absolutely. Coaches have opened them and closed them. So if you use the walking track, if you weren't there during one of those events that were going
Basically, if the
on,
lights would be on, the bathroom should be open.
in a perfect world, yes.
John, what I see happening up there, because we played the men's softball, we get there at later on, they're locked.
yeah.
What he's talking about, the soccer coaches, when I see kids come up, the coaches come in with the key, the kid goes in, and goes back, and the coach locks it.
They relock
and
it,
they
yeah.
relock it.
Yeah.
So not really open from the time they get there till the time that the lights go off.
But I mean,
with
sad to
people
say, since they've been open, I'm sorry to
there.
interrupt you.
I can tell you, when men's softball plays there, they're open the entire time that we're there. And that's anywhere from, we start with like 6 o'clock till we're done after 10, they're open. And
Yeah.
that's a couple of days a week that we're there.
What softball
I-
is that?
The town men's softball.
Men's softball.
'Cause I've talked to people in that league that said they've never been open.
No, we were, and I can say, I was at most of the games, and they were open.
Yeah, I have the key, so I know when our team's there, it's open.
You know, the bottom line is we're still trying to figure it out. I will be, we can't, you know, I don't know, we don't have anyone working those hours to have a staff person go open, close. I'm not going to put it on the police department to do it. Cameras, I think, will help. But just, yeah, you know, the problem too is they're not locked when they're supposed to be, when they are opened. Since they've been open, we've had a broken sink, we've had 2 broken doors, restroom stall doors. The amount of, I wouldn't even get graphic in what happens inside, you know, so,
I've never seen them open.
okay.
And I guess I believe you that it sounds like they're open, but I've never seen them open, and I just
What we are going to do,
presenting, so.
no, and it's not, it's an issue we're well aware of and trying to find the resolution. And that resolution, in my opinion, is really just getting one person dedicated every day to open and close. And I don't know how to, you know, I'm not going to pay a DPW guy to come in and do that. I would hope the sports, you know, like for example at Anderson Field, which is Triborough Little League, not the towns, the first coach comes, signs his key out, it gets hung on a hook in the kitchen, last coach out knows to return it. And even that doesn't always work, but it works 90% of the time. The problem with doing that at Walter T, there's so much more action there. You know, there's 6 games a night, there's 4 soccer games, so who's first, who's last, so it's real hard to coordinate. But I was hoping, that was our first try last year, is just based on enough people having keys in those organizations, they would be consistently open. And we've learned that's not the case. We've also learned when they were opened and not locked in the evening, we've had problems too. So I haven't quite figured out the best way to get it done. You know, I'm looking at a keypad. Do we do a keypad combination where a select few have that? But it's no difference than having a key. It's the same thing, you know. So Ray and I have been talking about it the last 2 weeks. We've had a lot of issues there. So we're trying to figure it out.
If you're aware of it and you're discussing it, that's all.
If you'd like to volunteer as the master key keeper, I would gladly make you the key keeper. Thank you very much. But we do have to figure it out. Thank you. Again, we're on the subject of the Walter T. Bergen grant application. Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing no one, motion to close this public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Again, that application will be submitted with the drainage request, and normally we receive notice in September. We do hope to start Phase 1 this summer and continue it if we're awarded this monies going forward. Professional reports, department heads, et cetera. Jane, do you have anything for us?
The only thing I have, the last day for party affiliation change is April 13th, and the office is open from 8 till 4. And the last day for voter registration is May 17th, and we're open till 9 p.m.
Okay. Thank you. Fred, do you have anything for us?
Mayor, just 2 things. First, we continue to move forward, the borough does, with the affordable housing. I'll call it litigation, but the Supreme Court has ordered municipalities who seek compliance to file complaints in Superior Court and get the court's approval as to their affordable housing plan. The borough's before Judge Brogan, and we continue to move along with the timeline submitted by the court to obtain compliance with the plan. And the second matter is, I just want to introduce Susan Sharp. She's here tonight. She's an attorney in our office. She's worked for the state of New Jersey in the Attorney General's office. In another life, she was a newspaper reporter. So what a good combination
Great.
for her to be an
Suzanne,
attorney in our
Debbie,
office.
Suzanne.
So, and she's joined our firm, and she's here tonight as well.
Great, thank you. Welcome. I was wondering who the heck you were. I was like, gosh, what do we got there? Actually, who's behind you? Is that Suzanne? Actually, you're Suzanne too?
Yes, it's Susan, yes.
It's a funny story. Suzanne Osborne, who's behind you, a Bloomingdale resident, comes in one day for, I don't really remember, just to review files. And Jane thought it was you, because, oh, Suzanne, she's like, oh, from Fed's office, must be. So, she's giving her carte blanche and no. I mean, yeah, how long did it take you to get here? She's like, I live a block away. So anyway, welcome to the borough, and I look forward to working with you. Thanks for being here this evening. Thanks, Fred. Any council member have anything?
Library board met last night. I think it's May 14th is their dinner dance at Glenwild Garden, not Glenwild Garden, Glenwild Country Club.
Yep, the clubhouse.
Clubhouse, thank you. I'll
Excellent.
get back to you on price. They're still trying to work all that out.
Good, good. Anyone else?
Maybe you can mention the Easter egg hunt?
Certainly can. The Easter egg hunt, sponsored by Bloomingdale Recreation, will be at the Walter T. Bergen Field on Saturday, March 26th, the day before Easter. And it is also a bonnet contest, and it's a many-year tradition, and it's always a fun time. So if you can get out for that. We'll meet again before the trout contest, but that is at Bogue Pond on April 9th and 10 a.m. What's that?
I'll take my wife there for our anniversary.
Your anniversary? Trout contest? Yeah, great. But thank you, Dawn, for reminding me of that. The other item, actually, before, any council member have anything else? The other item, Dawn and I met with, we have a company who's been here, I can't believe it, 4+ years on Main Street, Griswold Home Health Care, and they relocated from Pompton Lakes in the dentist's office on Main Street next to the old Barrett Plumbing building. Anyway, they have very successful home health care business, but she reached out to me and is interested in sponsoring a community garden, and it's something Dawn's been wanting to do for quite some time, and we're still trying to find the best parcel of land with water access, et cetera, but they're willing to sponsor it. She actually is from South Africa and talked to us about her
background.
Elaine's background, where she gardened when they were kids, and she's very, very health conscious individual and wants to offer this to our residents. Even talking about a component where you turn into a farmer's market, so you raise minimal funds to support the garden itself. So interesting. So we'll be bringing more to the public about that once we find the best suited location. We're looking at some parcels that the borough recently foreclosed on that may be suitable. We're looking at behind the senior center possibly. So, but a very generous offer from a local business owner, and we look forward to working with Elaine on that.
We do.
So it's good. Good. Anyone else? Anything? Good. All right. Moving along. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Who makes that?
So moved.
As you can see, request from the fire department auxiliaries to waiving their fee for their annual flower bake sale, and also request to the county to close Hamburg Turnpike for our Triborough Little League annual parade, which is on Saturday, April 16th. All in favor, please?
Aye.
Pending items. Ordinance 5/2016, amending Chapter 92 zoning, B1 zone. We were to have a second and final reading this evening, but there was a material change made on that ordinance, so we will be reintroducing. This is the ordinance where we added to our B1 zone a conditional use permitting dwelling units above other permitted uses, such as business, office, etc. The changes that were recommended by the ordinance review and supported by the planning board, which I support entirely, were identifying a maximum number of bedrooms and square footage, which reads as one bedroom, 650 square foot minimum floor space, and a 2-bedroom, 800 square foot minimum. So no more than 2 bedrooms is the gist of the amendment here. So it's material. So what we're doing is reintroducing tonight with a second and final plan for April 5th. The planning board is hoping to do a special meeting for this item only because it's a reintroduction. We still need to refer to the planning board. They have 35 days to review, but I'd like to have it reviewed prior, as soon as possible. And they're looking at possibly an April 24th special meeting just for this one item only, so that they can give it its blessing again, which seems kind of redundant, but it's the process, and then come back to us and we will adopt on April 5th. So,
March 24th.
I'm sorry, March 24th, excuse me, for their special meeting. again, which will be just for this one item. Because again, the planning board has to re-bless what they've recommended to us. So with that said, who makes the motion to reintroduce as changes recommended by the Ordinance Review and Planning Board, second and final April 5th? Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, okay. Yep.
That would be an ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale, in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 92 zoning, Article 12, Schedule of Regulations, Section 92-55, B1 General Business Zone of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Okay, thank you. Item,
So we're canceling the prior ordinance.
We are.
There's
We're
gonna be a
reintroduce-
public
we're-
hearing. So
correct. This
By
is a-
this vote, for the record,
Give it another number there?
this is the same number, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as the record reflects that the ordinance as originally introduced was scheduled for a public hearing.
Okay.
correct.
And now it's been, as you said, reintroduced now. So the record reflects that. If anybody ever looks to see what happened to that ordinance, it was technically reintroduced again.
Do
before
we need
it
a
was
motion
ever
to
adopted.
rescind the first, or we never adopted?
Right,
Right.
right.
That's fine. Good, thank you very much. Item B, ordinance 7, 2016, bond ordinance 7, 2015, amending it and to appropriate a community development block grant in the amount of $119,406. Public notice statement, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News, copies available to the public, so a motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
That would be a bond ordinance amending and restating in entirety bond ordinance number 7-2015, finally adopted by the Borough Council of the Borough of Bloomingdale in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey on April 21st, 2015, to increase the total appropriation therein from $1,531,645 to $2,167,953 to appropriate a community development block grant in the amount of $119,406 and to amend and supplement other provisions therein.
Thank you. Motion for public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Anyone wishing to speak to 7, 2015, please come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmembers Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Della Ripa.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Item C is a second and final reading of 8, 2016, amending Chapter 30, Flood Hazard Protection. Public notice statement, please.
Mayor, this ordinance is posted in the building, published in the Herald News. Copies available to the public, so a motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that would be an ordinance amending Chapter 14, Fire Prevention and Protection, subsections 14-1.6, Fire Official, subsection A, Appointment, Section 14-2.6, Specifications and Maintenance of Access Road, adding subsection K, and 14-2.11, Violations and Penalty, subsection C, Schedule A, Existing and Recognized Access Roads, standpipes, and suction points.
Thank you, Jane. And I need a motion to open, I'm sorry?
Excuse me. Huh? It should be 8, right?
No, yeah,
Did I read 8 or 9?
you just read,
9.
Nine,
Sorry,
so-
I apologize.
that's the one you just read is for fire protection. We'll get to that.
Let me read the right one,
Right.
I'm sorry. An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale in the County of Passaic, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 30, Flood Hazard Protection, Section
Correct.
30-5, Provisions for Flood Hazard Reduction, Section 30-5.2, Specific Standards of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Thank you very much. And I need a motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Anyone wishing to speak to 8, 2016? And again, this has to do with our community rating system program. We're applying through with ISO and FEMA to get a discount rating on our residents' flood insurance. And our current flood hazard ordinance did not have the proper language on freeboard levels where we had to show an elevation of 2 feet above base level. It just had to have language in the ordinance of 2 feet above level of base flood elevation to satisfy the community rating system requirements. That's simply, we're amending that. And so, did I have all in favor? I'm sorry.
Yes. Public hearing?
So, right, anyone wishing to speak, come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And who moves to adopt?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmembers D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Now, Jane read this number 9 so beautifully a moment ago. We're going to make her read it again. I need a public notice statement, please.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News. Copies available to the public, so a motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Should I read it again?
I think you should read it again.
Okay. Read eight. An ordinance amending Chapter 14 Fire Prevention and Protection, subsections 14-1.6 Fire Official, subsection A Appointment, section 14-2.6 Specifications and Maintenance of Access Road, adding subsection K, and 14-2.11 Violations and Penalties, subsection C, Schedule A Existing and Recognized Access Road, standpipes and suction points.
Thank you. I need a motion to open public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
And this simply is an ordinance amending our fire protection ordinance specifically for Glenwell Lake. The association had concerns with some language and some areas of, that were declared as fire points. So with the help of Mr. Southwell, the president of Glenwell Association, Mark Lime, our fire chief, Fred, was very helpful in this preparation. And here we are this evening finalizing that language. So anyone wishing to speak to 9/2016, please come on up. Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
And who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Members Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Thank you. And item E is 10/2016, second final reading, amending Chapter 92 zoning, parking, loading, and automotive services is the title of the ordinance. Public notice statement, please.
Mayor, this ordinance was posted in the municipal building, published in the Herald News. Copies available to the public, so a motion may be made that it be read by title.
And who makes that motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that would be an ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale in the County of Passaic and State of New Jersey to amend Chapter 92 zoning, Article 5, regulations governing certain uses, Section 92-22, parking, loading, and automotive services of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Okay, motion for public comment, public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak to 10/2016? This is simply, our ordinance pertains to vehicles permitted, parking issues, and what we're changing here, the ordinance always had language about commercial vehicles cannot be parked in a residential area if they exceed 12,000 pounds, and only one commercial vehicle was permitted. We're amending that to add school vehicles as well as commercial in this ordinance. Anyone wishing to speak to 10/2016? Got to come up, state your name and address for the record.
Warren, 26 Maple Ave. I was just wondering, is it amended, if you add school vehicles, you still only have one, or one school and one commercial?
One
One total?
or one. One commercial or one registered school vehicle. So it's not one of each.
Great.
Good,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else, please? Seeing no one, motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Who moves to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, do you want a roll call? Oh, good. All right, thank you. New business. I need a resolution, motion for 216, 3.9, payment of the bills. Who makes that motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Council members Hudson,
Yes, with the exception of PO 15-01835.
Sandemeyer,
Yes.
Yazdi,
Yes.
Costa,
Yes.
D'Amato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes. You good? Item B, I need a motion to adopt Tax Office Resolution 2016 3.10 through 13. Again, all tax title lien certificates and an overpayment in the tax office. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Is it 13 or 12?
10, 11, 12. Yep. 10 through 12. Thank you, Rich. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
The next item is resolution number 2016 3.13, authorizing treatment works approval for 97 South Road. Who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Again, this is simply a self-contained treatment works approval application with the DEP for residents at 97 South Road, and part of the process is a resolution by the borough to construct this individual sewage disposal field. Did you have a question about that? Excuse me? We have a motion in a second. I'm just explaining what it is. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Need a motion for late public comment?
So moved.
Second?
Anyone wishing to speak, please come on up. State your name and address for the record. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the moment. No, no, I'm kidding. See, quickly, a motion to, no. A motion to close?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
There is no late executive session. Consideration of executive, well, we don't have to say that. Governing body, April 5th.
You have it on agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Councilman. Moving along. That kind of day for me. There was
Well, he's
one
president.
non-agenda item. Thank you, Councilman.
Programming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was that kind of week. It was only Tuesday. I received this proclamation from a resident asking for its adoption, and I'm glad she did because I was unaware that, so first let me ask for a motion to approve Resolution 2013 3.14, proclaiming March 29, 2016 as Welcome Home Veterans, Vietnam Veterans Day in the borough of Bloomingdale. So who makes that motion?
So moved.
Second?
And before I ask for a roll call, whereas the nation's Vietnam War commemoration gives us the opportunity for all Americans to recognize, honor, and thank our veterans and their families for their service and sacrifices during the Vietnam War. Whereas over 9,000 organizations across America have joined the Department of Defense as a commemorative partner in honoring the nation's Vietnam veterans, including a National Society Daughters of American Revolution. And whereas this commemoration includes 9 million Americans, with approximately 7.2 million of them living today, and makes no distinction who served in country, in theater, or were stationed elsewhere during these 20 years, all answering the call of duty. And whereas the Veterans Affairs Secretary Robert McDonald has designated March 29, 2016, the last day that U.S. troops were on the ground in Vietnam, as a day to honor those who have borne the battle and to extend gratitude and appreciation to them, therefore, and their families. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Dunleavy, Mayor of the Borough of Bloomingdale, along with the Borough Council, to proclaim March 29th, 2016 as Welcome Home Veterans, Vietnam Veterans Day in the Borough of Bloomingdale. So, honored to do that, as I know we all are. And a roll call, please.
Councilmembers Yazdi.
Yes.
Costa.
Yes.
Tomato.
Yes.
Delariva.
Yes.
Hudson.
Yes.
Sandemeyer.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Again, governing by the schedule I said a moment ago. And before I ask for a motion to adjourn, Fred just wanted to clear one thing up with Councilman Yazdi. To amend. Okay, just to clarify, Councilman Yazdi and the council, as Dawn did, should I specify exactly why?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's PO 16-00302, and I wanted to flag that to just advise Mr. Yazdi that under the circumstances, it'd be best to recuse from that aspect of the bill list.
So again, you
Yeah, I recuse from
you
that.
amend your
Yep.
vote to that accusal. You would just note that in the minutes? Thank you. And with that said, thank you all for coming this evening. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
I was looking at that.